Hello, welcome to LastDart TV. My name's Alex Mack. Thanks for watching. Today we are going to be talking about the dartboard as well as... Okay, scrap that. Hello, welcome to LastDart TV. I'm Alex Mack. Thanks for watching. Now, the title of this, all right. Hello. Welcome to LastDart TV. My name's Alex Mack. Thanks for watching. Now, if you click this video wondering if you're going to see someone play with 4 physical darts, I didn't mean it as clickbait. It is kind of true. I don't play with 4 darts. That would be funny but illegal. I do play with 3. The 4th dart that I have in my arsenal is my counting. This, in my opinion, is a very, very important skill. I think it's undervalued by a lot of players who just, they throw to the end. Maybe someone shouts out, oh, single 19, you know, that's how they get onto a double. If you do want to get better, this is aimed at beginner, maybe intermediate. I believe if you're really good at counting, then if you have the same skill as your opponent, but you are a better counter, I believe over a long enough period, you will end up winning more games because you will put yourself into more advantageous positions because of your understanding of the board and because of your understanding of the numbers. Okay, so a few things about the board to begin with. All right, you probably know the layout of the board. It's 1 to 20 in a set order nowadays, but there's a few little things about the board that you really need to know that will really help you out. One of those is the pairs of even numbers. Okay, when you are starting out, your scatter graph will be all over the place. As you start to get better and practice more, your heat spots, if you do have that sort of tech, I've got an app that shows me my heat spots, will get tighter and tighter and tighter in. What this means is, when you're starting, I don't know, maybe you've got half a board, it is your scope, but pretty soon as you start playing, it's going to close up. Imagining you're going for the 20, you might start hitting 6 and maybe even some down here, but pretty soon it will be in the top part, and then it will come until you're a good player and you're kind of disappointed that you don't hit the 20. But what this means is, if you're still in the kind of slightly, I don't want to call it spraying, but random phase, you need to give yourself more chances to get down to a double more quickly, because you probably also need more chances at the double. Okay, and knowing things about the board and how to get to certain numbers and how to make good decisions are really, really important. Okay, so there are 3 sets of double evens on the board. These are really, really useful. Okay, talking about these 2 to start with, 32 is the best double on the board, in my opinion, because it halves to 16, it halves to 8, it halves to 4, and it halves to 2. This means you can keep going inside on the double. So say you've got 32 points, this is your target. If you go inside, you just have to go next door. It's right there. Okay, this is really, really big. Okay, even for 20, if you go inside on the 20, you're having to shift all the way across here. Sometimes that's fine. If you're on 36 and you're coming on 18, they call it the tricky switch. You're coming all the way over to double 9. And if you're on 4 and you go inside on 2, you're having to shoot all the way up, and no one wants to end up in that spot. Okay, so 16-8 is an excellent part of the board. You've also got 18 and 4 together, which are good combos, but they're probably not used quite as much as 10 and 6. So things like 10 and 6, if you're on something like 46, I like double 16, so I need 14 points. Okay, I need single 14. Now you'll notice that 14 is flanked by 9 and 11. These are both odd numbers. All right, so if I did happen to miss, I go low or go high, usually low, I would be on an odd number and I would need to burn another dart to get back onto an even number. Okay, and this is not what you want, because it probably only left me 1 dart at a double. I need way more than that, right? I need an average of like 7. It's very annoying. I'm trying to get better. Anyway, if you're on 46, however, you've given yourself a double target, because 6 leaves you on tops, nice finish, and 10 leaves you on 36, also a nice finish. Okay, not only does it leave you on good solid numbers, it's a double target, right? I mean, that chunk, once you start practicing, you're thinking, well, I should be able to, you know, if you're aiming for the wire, essentially, I should be able to hit that, and that will then give you 2 shots at a double, which will double your opportunities to win the leg, which is what you want. Okay, that's the even numbers. Now, very, very importantly, and I think this is underrated, is there is a pizza wedge, I call it the pizza, of odd numbers on the dartboard, and you need to know where these are. Okay, they are right at the bottom. It's 17, 19, 3, and 17, 4 odd numbers all together. Okay, so you've got this big chunky section of the dartboard to aim at in certain situations if you need to hit an odd number. Now, I will say early on, if you've only just started playing, or even if you've played for a little bit, don't be too focused on always leaving tops or 32 or 24, the sort of classic doubles. You need to be focused on getting to any double you want and giving yourself enough darts at a double. Okay, so even if I give the example 43 or something, if you hit the 3 from the 40, if you hit 3 from 43, rather, you're on 40, you're on double tops. That's good. All right, you've given yourself a chance. If, however, you do hit one of these other numbers and it leaves you on, well, in this case, 36 or 24 or 26, they're still good. Okay, they're all the same size, as they say. There's a darting maxim that says they're all the same size. That's true. Now, as you get better, you will want to leave 32 much more often than 26. That's just going to work out for itself. But in a pinch, especially if the pressure was on, and I might even recommend this to lots of levels of player, honestly, it's kind of like when you're on 64 and you need to shot the double, don't gamble on hitting the treble 14, you know, go for the big bit, and then you're guaranteeing your shot at the bullseye. It might be similar to that sort of situation where, oh yeah, I'm on 26, I don't love leaving double 13. Even, to be honest, I don't think it's the worst double in the world. It's an up and a downer. So if you can throw fairly straight, but your power often is not the best, those up and downer doubles are good because it gives you a good range. But it's an option, and at the end of the day, you'll have put pressure on your opponent by throwing darts at a double, or, you know, obviously hitting the double would be the best thing. So that is our very brief introduction to the dartboard. I will also say, even at maybe a more basic level, you've got to know where the numbers are. Okay, this isn't just like, oh, I know where the numbers are. The whole point of knowing these combos and these numbers and where they are on the dartboard is to maintain your rhythm when you're playing. You want to be putting 100% of your energy into staying relaxed and focusing on your target and doing what you have to do as a dart player, rather than calculating and figuring out, oh my goodness, where's the number 9, where's 13, and having to detract from your mental stores of concentration by doing things that should just come absolutely naturally. How do you improve at this? As a beginner, I really recommend, it's a great social game. It's also great to handicap. You can play it in lots of different ways. Is around the world or around the board or whatever you call it. This is the game where you hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, blah, blah, blah. You go around the board in order. Sometimes you might play with trebles and doubles. I might make a separate video about Around the World. It's a really, really good game. But you will feel very, very quickly you're going to know where the numbers are. And as soon as you're more comfortable with knowing the numbers in a game, 157, 17 tops. I know it's down there. Not only you'll know where it is, you will have also thrown a bunch of 17s in the game. This is all good prep for getting those little mini combos that wins a lot of games. Generally wins a lot of games, but at a certain level, if you can take out your 57s and your 55s and your 48s in one turn, then you're going to be in good shape. Okay, so that's what I wanted to cover today. Think about the board, think about where the numbers are, be familiar with the layout of the dartboard, and when you come to certain situations, that familiarity will put you in a good place. You'll see players, and I know players, they've been playing a long time, their counting, quite honestly, is horrendous. They are used to people shouting out. Some people don't mind that, some people do. Or they're just one of these, what am I on, the 69, they go for treble 20, they haven't got a clue what they're doing. Sometimes they bust, or sometimes they leave themselves on very awkward numbers. And if you're a certain quality of player, that can be really, really important. The fact that you don't have to hit a single before you hit a double is really, really important. So if you're coming to the board with guaranteed 3 at a double, as long as you don't do anything too crazy, is much, much, much better at a certain level than a person on, for example, they've left 41 instead of leaving 40. Hitting that single 1 or that single 9, or however you prefer to do it, can be quite a mission, especially under pressure. People miss those all the time. You see even the best players miss them, and certainly your pub player or your club player will miss that kind of dart the whole time. And if you've planned your route better down to the doubling zone, 40 and under, generally speaking, yes, the bullseye is 50, but generally speaking, 40 and under, and you're leaving yourself on 40 or 36 or 32 much, much more regularly than your opponents, you'll be in a much better spot. Okay? All right, thanks for watching. Alex Mack, LastDarts TV. Thanks for the support. I'll see you later.